Oh, at last. I'm back in time after rescuing my own grandmother. Man, I really hope nothing has changed.
How's it going?
There's three. No, wait, you're back to normal. Okay.
What are you talking about?
No. Oh, I just had a bad dream. Hello, everybody. My name is Puppeteen from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today. For what? For Miss Marvel, episode 5 of season 1.
Run, Puppeteen, run.
Ah! Wait, geez, sorry. So much screaming because I'm just shivering in fear. I don't know. Anyway, yes, in this episode, well, we're dealing with the cliffhanger that we had last episode. Kamala is in the past, except we don't start there. Obviously, spoilers, so if you don't want them, then, well, you've been warned. But other than that, oh, well, one second, I gotta fix this. With the power of my mind. Actually, I can't use my mind. Froggy, could you focus for a second? Much better.
Yep.
Gets a portal out of here. But yes, we are here to talk about Miss Marvel, and Kamala is not in this episode for about 20 minutes. Why? Because we get some context. Say yeah! What the?
Yeah, context.
Who the hell are you?
I'm you.
I certainly hope not.
I just got done working on the bridge.
Oh, it is hard work under there.
It is.
Yeah. Wait, were you actually working underneath it, or were you constructing it?
I was building the bridge.
I'm going to work under it later. So anyway, we get some context. Like I said, we get Kamala's grandmother and Aisha, I believe her name is, and she is simply stuck in Pakistan at that moment. She can't get home because she is a Djinn. She can't go with her people, and she wants to run. Well, we soon learn why, as they don't really care about humanity, and Aisha isn't the type to go and seek just countless bloodshed just for her own gains. No, she wants to just run away from it all, and she runs into a man, which is Kamala's grandfather, and we get to see their love story and how they eventually have kids. Well, that sadly all changes when the head of the clandestines, dun dun dun,
Dun dun dun.
dun dun dun,
Dun dun dun.
dun dun dun,
Dun dun dun.
dun
Dun
dun dun dun dun dun dun.
dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun dun dun
dun.
dun.
Well, you came for the memes, Rhaegar, but you stayed for the chaos. If he stays.
That's fast.
Yeah. But like I was saying, yeah, no, I love the first 20 minutes of this. I love getting to the actual train scene. But sadly, we get to them having to get on the train so that way they can run. They can get away from the clandestines, and they're hoping for a better life. But for them to do that, Aisha has to tell her husband to take their daughter and go. And she says she'll catch up, but she sadly can't, as the leader gets to her and stabs her after not having the bangle, saying that she can't let her get in her way.
What a bitch.
What a bitch. Well, that's interesting, Maranya. I'm going to get into this. My problem with this episode actually comes from getting directly into the present. Because Kamala does come back. She does rescue her grandmother, and the scene that her grandmother described last episode comes through. Okay, so with that pretty much done, with what was described finished, she returns to the present. And what happens? Well, it's the head of the clandestines and Kamala, and they turn their head, and the veil is open. The veil that will destroy, well, the real world if it remains open, if it keeps just consuming. One of the clandestine members go ahead and they're like, oh, we could go home. But it zaps her, disintegrates her, and it actually reminds me of the Spider-Man goblin bombs, the pumpkin bombs. Do you remember where they would disintegrate and then the skeletons would fall? Ah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kamala tries to appeal to the head of the clandestines, telling her that she has to go back to her son. She has to help her close this, because otherwise it will all be destroyed. There's something here for her to fight for. Well, the leader of the clandestines looks at Kamala and says, fine, you're right, there's only one way. And she whispers her son's name, and the energy kind of pours out of her eyes a moment before she is disintegrated. The veil does close.
And now this is where it's kind of cool, because it looks like she's taking what's called the energy from the portal, transferring from her and sending it back to her son.
Where's the accent coming from?
What accent?
Yeah, basically, what's his name? Cameron? No. Carman. No.
Common.
No, it's not Common. No, that's another book. I think it's Cameron. He now has powers. And with that in mind, we actually get to see him go to Bruno, and because he has nowhere else to go, his family abandoned him. And so him and Bruno actually get a moment, and he actually learns his real name. He stops calling him Brian.
They actually have a bromance.
A bromance, sure. And this is where damage control comes in. A drone had been following him, and, well, after being able to push it back with energy he doesn't quite understand, well, the drone flies down and blows up the bottom of the shop. Oops.
Yeah, so
Cameron.
When they show him with the power, he's got Miss Marvel's power.
Yeah.
Kamala Khan's power.
Pretty much.
He's got purple crystal power.
Also, we get kind of a reconciliation with Kamala and her mother, because her mother actually sees her use the power and understands, oh, you're that nightlight girl. This episode, I think Maranya has it on the money. It's not a bad episode. It is a rushed episode. This ending has no room to breathe. There's nothing there that it's all squeezed together. She had a way of saying it for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Too much story meat for the show casing or whatever, the sausage casing. And that applies here. This episode isn't bad. It's poorly pressed together. And maybe you could have cut more from the past, but I wouldn't have liked that, because I liked seeing the flashback. I like seeing the lead up to the train scene. I like that a lot. It's actually the highlight of this episode. But sadly, as soon as they get back to the present, things stop making sense and they get pushed together. None of what happens is illogical. What is illogical is how it comes together, if that makes sense. Nothing?
I like bridges.
Yeah, you like bridges. Great. I think the great reconciliation between Kamala, her mother, and her grandmother could. I don't dislike it. I just feel like it also suffers from this moment. They needed a little more time to flesh out their time here in Pakistan. But sadly, we don't have that. But it's not a bad episode. It's not my favorite though because of this stark change. I think that thus far, it was great. I think I've heard some complaints about episode 3, feeling a little rushed with the clandestines and them. Oh, they're going to help you, and then suddenly they're bad. I don't agree with that, but I cannot help but feel that way for this episode. But of course, there's one more episode to go, and it might be so great that I get this to just disappear. But we will have to wait and see. Yes, you are right, Maranya. Another piece of the final costume that will come is from Kareem, and her broken necklace foretells the symbol of her costume. It's, yeah, I don't dislike that. I just, again, it just doesn't feel right because of how thrown together it feels. And like I said, that's not the fault of, well, any of the actors, of course. They did well, especially with what they had to throw together all at once. I think that it just comes down to the writers having to squeeze it into this episode. But overall, it's a fine episode. I wish I liked it more, but it isn't enough. There needed to be more time. I think if this was an 8-episode series, yes, you're right, Maroni. It deserves 8 episodes. If it was an Puppet Joe, what the hell? Do you own a restaurant?
I can't say I do or say I don't.
Uh-huh.
But I build things, and also they should have made this 2 seasons.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like this story could have been done in 1 season.
Is the only show getting 2 seasons? Why can't this show get 2 seasons?
Well, there's no reason that it can't, but it would probably have to wait until after the Marvels.
When is Miss Marvel coming out? The second one.
I don't know.
I'm sure they can get another 8 episodes in.
I don't know. This series did deserve 8 episodes. I think if it had 8 episodes, they could have spaced this episode out a little more. They could have pushed the modern, the modern age reconciliations and dealing with Bruno and Cameron for the next one. But this is what we got. I feel like Disney Plus unfair complaints about WandaVision being too long. And ever since they've been limiting the shows to 6 episodes. I mean, I don't know about that. Mandalorian has been 8 episodes each time, I'm pretty sure.
But we need to talk about, there's actually another show that's supposed to be coming out. And it's rumored they have Daredevil in it.
Your mother?
No,
sorry.
Echo? Echo's getting her own 6 episode show.
Oh, it's also 6 episodes? I think 6 episodes.
And then Charlie Cox is rumored to be in it.
Oh, that's cool. But
and then,
of course,
and then Disney will screw us over and we won't get a Daredevil show.
Why can't we get a Daredevil show after that? They're not going to kill Daredevil.
That you think of.
They didn't kill Kingpin. He's alive. Don't you worry. Yeah, it'll be okay. But yes, I like I said, that's all I can say about this episode. It's not a bad episode. It's a rushed episode, and it's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and pull up the ticker. Please make sure to leave your thoughts down. Leave your thoughts down below. Your comments, anything you want to say, go ahead, leave it down right down there, and we'll respond. Did you feel the same way, or did you feel differently? Let us know why. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. And I cannot wait until the season finale next week. It's going to be good. But that's all for us, for me and Puppet Joe, who killed Froggy. Did you absorb Froggy?
I don't know who that is, but I'm building the bridge.
Yeah.
A bridge to your heart. Hear the beeping noise? That's a construction vehicle.
Yeah, I do hear that. But okay. Well,
Beep, beep.
this might be the last appearance of Puppet Joe. Let's cross our fingers and pray. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Y'all come back now.